What's going on, guys? We are out here talking about brassicas, fall food plots. Today is Monday. It is August 3rd, and we're out here doing a little scouting, not for deer, but how we're looking for our fall plots. So I'm standing out here on the edge of a bean field that I hunt, and we're going to talk about soybean stages real quick. If you're not familiar with it, I hope this helps you a little bit. So right now, our soybeans are in like an R4 stage. Means that they've all got pods, but they don't all have seeds yet, just for lack of better terms. R3 is where they got little soybeans on them, like 3/16 of an inch. And R2 is full flower stage. So right now we're between the R3 and the R4. We don't have seeds in a lot of the pods. Some of them are getting there, so we're getting really close to the R4 stage. R5 is pretty much, the pod is getting fuller. R6 would be like full maturity, and R7 would be the seed is done being cooked in there. You can come in with your combine and combine your beans. So with that being said, the reason I'm telling you this is this year I'm doing something different. I hunt on my family farm, so I have a little more freedom than other people do than if they were just getting permission. So what we're gonna do this year is I'm going to plant my brassicas into my standing soybeans, and we're going to talk about it. We have a really good acorn crop this year, which usually I wouldn't care about on a lot of places that I hunt, but this spot in particular is just loaded up with oak trees, and when we have a good acorn crop, it is on fire. So here we are. We're out at my food plot, and it looks pretty poor. We'll show you real quick. So we got this area here. We're gonna talk about it. So it's just been, sorry, get in the light there. It's been a tough year. We struggled with getting anything to come up, but as you can see, we got a little something. We got buckwheat. That's what most of that is. Buckwheat. We got sorghum still popping up. And we do have some sunflowers mixed in here. Sorghum. Sorghum, sorghum, sorghum. So I haven't been back here in about 10 days. So it looks better than it has, but it's not great. Yeah, a lot of buckwheat. The buckwheat helped us out a little bit. We got some more sunflowers at various stages here. The sorghum. I am very surprised that the deer have not been eating this buckwheat. This is the first year I've tried to plant it, but yeah. We do have more sunflowers starting to fill in here. I came back through here about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and just broadcasted some more sunflowers because the deer have just been demolishing them as soon as they get to be about that tall. The deer seem to come through here and wipe them out. So we've got quite a few starting to come back up here. Some of the beans. Some beans. The sorghum. Yeah, so this is what it looks like, and it was all this area down here too, but we had a ton of rain, came in here and just washed it all out, and just came back up with weeds. So no big deal. We're gonna improvise we're gonna adapt and we're gonna overcome. So we get back over on the other side. We were just over there, now we're over here. You get back and you can see that we've got more buckwheat and sorghum starting back in here. The buckwheat's pretty thick. We've got some sunflowers there. There's a baby sunflower just sprouting. More sunflowers, sorghum. Sorghum. So you kind of see what we're dealing with here. Everything kind of down here flooded out, and it is what it is. That's the way it happens, you know. If we wouldn't have gotten any rain, then everything would be dried up and burnt. So at least they got a little something here. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do to fix it. So since this food plot that we're in right now didn't do good, I mean, it was only roughly, maybe at best, 1/4 of an acre. Probably less, since I left this row of trees right there. I think there's some sort of poplar, and just naturally started pushing up, but I wanted to leave it because it's a pretty good screen. It's pretty tall and you really can't see through it. And they only shot up like that within the last like 2 years. And this is, with shoes on, I'm about 6 foot tall, so that's pretty good. So I left them alone, hoping that maybe in another year they would be a good enough screen. Sometimes I'll access from this trail and come hunt a stand over here, or sometimes I'll access and go hunt a stand or hang a saddle somewhere, you know. So I kind of like where that's at. But anyway, so behind me is the bean field. Right there's the edge of the property, and the bean field runs back over this way and down to the main field. And what we're gonna do is, once these soybeans get into like the R5 stage, they should lose like 2 to 3 leaves, right? They're gonna start shedding a few. They're gonna start getting dried out a little bit more, and the wind and stuff will shake some leaves off. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And it's gonna give us some mulch on the ground. So we're gonna try to get in here. Sorry about the lighting. We're gonna try to get in here before that. So today's August 3rd. I'm thinking maybe around August 15th through 20th. Here in about 2 weeks roughly. We're gonna come in here and broadcast our brassicas into this. So if you're curious which brassicas we're gonna use, I'm not sponsored or anything. I'm not getting paid to say anything about them, but I'm gonna use Domain Outdoors. I did not use them for my summer blend. That was just something that I made up. You can go to, like, I don't know if you guys have family farming homes where you're from, but we do, and they have baskets of seed, and you can buy, you know, buckwheat and radish and sunflowers and millet, sorghum, all that stuff for, you know, not very much. You just mix all the seed together and then spread it. So yeah, but my brassicas, I'm gonna use Domain Outdoors this year. I've used them 2 years in a row now for my fall plots, and we've had pretty good success. Last year we did this area actually was all my brassica mix, and we did another area on the other side over there, and worked really well for me. I mean, deer hit it. They ate it hard. So my favorite blend that I use by them is the Green Machine. It's got the winter rye, the oats, the winter peas, brassicas in it. It's got some radish, I think it's purple top turnip or forage turnip in there as well. And that's kind of a powerhouse blend because it's got a little bit of forage in it and it gets a little bit of length. It's still got the radish or turnip in it, and just does really well. You know, it put a lot of green stuff out there in November for me, and once the snow got on, I noticed that I could see the deer pawing up the radishes and turnips. I don't remember what the other blend I used last year was, but that's going to be our #1 go-to out here. #2 is going to be the Smackdown, and that's got purple top turnip and forage turnip. This one is a really fast maturity. I think they say it's like 45 to 60 days for full maturity on that. And then Bombshell is going to be the last one that we're going to add into here. It's going to be Ethiopian cabbage, some collards, hybrid forage brassica, and forage turnip, and that's also a 45 to 60 day maturity. Originally I thought that I was going to plant them, mix it all together, plant them, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Just due to where my stand locations are at, and I know that you know, things are going to be attractive to them at different times. So I think we're going to run it in strips here in levels of by attractiveness. I know that I think I want the more attractive blend closer to where my stands are going to be, or in a manner that I think is going to manipulate deer movement closer to where I'm going to be. So I think from the outside here, you know, this is obviously fence row. So I think we're going to put the smack down here. This is the property line. We're going to plant from that into here. It's going to be a smack down, and we're going to have turnips. And then moving on, I think from roughly right in here, I had this all mapped out on my Onyx, so we'll know exactly what our planting rates should be. And so the turnips and radishes are going to go here, and then the Bombshell, which has some of our brassicas and Ethiopian cabbage and some collards and stuff, is going to go here. And then further in on the property, you know, from say this corner out, we're going to run our green machine. So in a matter of effectiveness, I think we're going to pull more deer in towards the center of our property, which should be good and beneficial for us. Now I do think we're going to have pretty good success interseeding our brassicas or fall blends into these standing beans here, even though beans kind of work well once they get to this stage to shade out and kill, you know, weeds and stuff like that. They keep the weeds shaded out, and that works good. But we're getting to a point where pretty soon, you know, they're going to be more worried about filling pods than they are their leaves. So their leaves are going to start dropping. And if you are a farmer, you're probably kind of aware of people interseeding cover crops into their soybeans. Some guys will do radishes and turnips, and some people do clover plots, and to get more nitrogen in the ground. But it's a fairly common practice, and I think that we can have success doing it here on a food plot scale. Now obviously we're not planting brassicas in today's video. We're just talking about it, showing you guys where we're going to plant brassicas, showing you guys my old food plot. Not really old, but my failed food plot. And the purpose of this is not to just show you guys what I'm doing for entertainment purposes. It's more to show you guys that if you do have a failed food plot like over here, you still have time to make something happen and get a little food in the ground before fall. Now obviously throwing a little bit of seed on the ground isn't going to bring in 180 and 200 inch whitetail to your farm. You still have to be in an area that has big deer to shoot big deer. But having food around, especially in an area that's lacking of that, or having the best food source in an area, it's definitely going to draw more deer to your farm. Now I live in a state that has a really high deer density where I live, but this farm in particular in this area doesn't have a very high deer density. A typical sit for me is usually between 2 and 3 deer, even in this ag region like this, we just don't have as many deer here as we do, 20 minutes any direction of here. But if you have a great food source, you're going to draw in deer from other areas because you have a destination food source. If you guys like today's video, go ahead and leave me a like, drop a comment down below. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this or any comments even, or if you've done anything similar to this. I'd love to hear about it. And if you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do that. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.